Africa is witnessing its very own season of Prison Break, starring Thabo Bester. Correctional services is often labelled as a criminal system within a criminal system. From smuggling contraband to running scams to escapes, it seems anything goes there. Forensic investigator Calvin Rafadi tells us about some of these activities behind bars, and he joins me now for this conversation. Calvin, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. Fill us in on what really is happening behind bars, because I think at times when we see a court case happening and a perpetrator being convicted of a crime, and then I suppose this jubilation with the assumption that, you know, one would serve time and thereafter be rehabilitated and later on, I suppose, be reintroduced back into society. I suppose that's not the case, as we're seeing with Thabo Bester.
Yeah, morning to your viewers. I like the word you use, the rehabilitation, because if a prisoner is sent to prison, they're supposed to be rehabilitated. But there's a lot of scams that are run in within the prison. Like if you recall, in 2001, between 2001 and 2003, there was a gentleman, a mafia called Leon Stachnik. Now, what this mafia did, he ran a big scam in prison whereby even controlling the outside world, like your likes of the casinos. Because how it happens at the casino, you get a loan from a private, what you call a private booth, but because there are cameras, you are given money inside there from the toilet, cash, and then what will happen is payable in 48 hours. Now, failure to do that, you will receive a call from people like the gangsters in the prison, reminding you that you need to pay that money, or we know where your child go to school, or will come after your wife and stuff like that. So now there are big syndicates in within prison, and they come in a format of tattoos. Your gangsters, your 26, your 28, your Air Force. Now, when you speak of the Air Force gangs in the prison, they are ready to escape. So they plan to escape. They plan to buy prison warders or whatever their way, and then they plan to escape. Now, most of the contrabands or cell phones that are smuggled in within the prison, they come through the prisoners that are awaiting trial or those that are further charged. So when they go to court, they can easily smuggle the phones through, some they use like your latex, and then sniff it under, like on your anal, and then they bring this particular cell phones in within the prison. Now, these cell phones, they are used to commit crimes even outside, to buy the nkabis, to communicate with the families, or even like we've seen with Thabo Bester, to even run a bigger scam and a media, whatever portfolio that he was running in within prison.
Calvin, are they working in silos? I mean, this is information that surely prison wardens, prison, personnel, the Department of Justice and Correctional Service, members of the SAPS surely know. It's not the first time we're seeing it with Thabo Bester. It's been going on through dating back into history. Different countries, even outside of the country, going through it. But why do we still see successful scams, syndicates, mafia style, as you've just described, still running successfully behind bars?
Yeah, one can easily say, I mean, some of the officials, like in the subs or even crime intelligence or even in within the prison warders, some are just rotten apples, and then they part of the gang. I mean, they make money even from this particular scam. So they facilitate this particular scam so that they can happen. So, but what with Thabo Bester, what we have seen is, we thought that perhaps one could have killed somebody in within prison, and they smuggle him out with the identification of a person who has died. But this is a CMAX prison. It's the prisoners, they are kept in single cells. So it can only mean one thing, that a dead body was bought maybe from a mortuary, because some are not one that they don't have family members, and then they can easily buy a dead body from whatever the mortuary and smuggle it into the prison. So it is with the help of those securities that perhaps are suspended or dismissed, as we've seen yesterday. But we also want to make it a point that should it come to a point that the doctor lady that has kept this particular gentleman after the escape, that person needs to be charged with this particular contravening the act that keeping a wanted person and committing this particular crime as well. So they need to take her phone, download it, or check the communication in within the space that there was this scenario of the burning of the body in the prison. Who was she communicating with?
Absolutely. Dr. Nandi Phamagudumana being her name at this point, we understand, allegedly being involved in as far as, claiming that Thabo Bester was her customary husband, and therefore wanting to claim the body, wanting to be very hasty in terms of burying him after that fire. There's a lot going on there that can lead investigators to the truth. I want to also touch on the arrogance in terms of how we've seen Thabo Bester, making rounds in a certain store, shopping. I mean, one would think that if you've escaped prison, you would run away, change identity, not try to be seen in public, not try to lead any, investigations your way because you have escaped prison. Why, I don't even know how to phrase this question, but why would Thabo Bester do that? Why would he put himself in a position where he's known that he's serving life in prison, yet be in public, freely, living his best luxurious life?
Well, I guess he thought he camouflaged, and we must thank the media house that has followed up on the story and even pressurized the police to follow up on this matter. So we must thank them. They've done a great job. But as far as we know, Thabo Bester, because he's got multiple identity, he thought he has camouflaged to a point that even some of the news guys that were scammed, they believe that they are communicating with a new person, but he still continued with this particular scams and eliciting money. But one would say he thought he camouflaged. He's a person with multiple identity. This time around he had some beard and some funny hairstyle. One wouldn't think, you would think that no, he looks like, or be convinced that no, that one is already dead, he's in prison.
Now, just before I let you go, Calvin, what work now lies ahead for, investigations, for members of the SAPS, obviously leading investigations into this story? And do you think they will crack the case? Do you think he will return behind bars?
Yeah, look, the police are working 24 hours on this particular matter. And one can say that even yesterday, I received a call, somebody telling me that, no, they know where the body was bought, and then this guy has escaped the country. And I told them, channel this particular information to the police. So the police, they need to make their numbers, the investigating officer, known to the community. And if there's rewards and stuff like that, they need to come out and make it known so that they can get help from the community. Because some people, they are sitting with information. They know the whereabouts of this particular syndicate or a criminal, we'll call him, including the brother of the doctor. He knows a lot. That's why he's, revealing bit by bit, but he's scared for his life. So police need to make sure that they give us their number, who to be called, and then anonymously, and then they need to cater for this particular whistleblowers, and then they will get this particular guy, if he hasn't escaped the country as yet.
We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to me about this. Forensic investigator Calvin Rafadi, it was a pleasure having you on the show.